few things. Alumni Day yesterday, so had a lot of alums back. Man, appreciate those guys that come back and support the program and continue to stay engaged. It's a critical piece of the program, and they're a critical piece of us moving forward. I mean, they're part of our history, and they continue to be part of our future. So appreciate all those guys that showed up. Military Appreciation Day yesterday. I mean, I think we could do that every meet as far as I'm concerned. I mean, can never appreciate those guys too much and the sacrifice they made. And then it's my son's 16th birthday today, so happy birthday to Hayden, man. Proud of that dude, and not just way beyond the wrestling, but he was able to win a state title as a team, Don Bosco, which was pretty cool to watch, man. Those things don't come around that often, and it was your proud dad sitting in the stands, but pretty damn cool, man, and proud of him and man, the man he's becoming. So I want to send a little shout out to him. As far as a meet, I thought we wrestled pretty dang well. West Virginia's got a good team. Done a really good job. Trevor's right there. Just getting in a hole early in some matches, and he's fighting his way back, and he's wrestling through everything. Had chances certainly to win that match, and man, he's right there with everybody. Farber getting bonus points is huge. Anytime that you can do that, and you come off a loss, you get a win. Happel, what he said, maybe 8 straight wins, and you start getting that where you get 8, 10, 12, 20 wins in a row, man. Not saying you seem invincible or automatic, but man, that confidence just grows, and you certainly see that with him. A top 10 guy that he got bonus points on, that's huge. Here, when you can blow a match out of the water like that against a kid that has had a really good season, you can do anything but and I'm the man, and he's certainly walking around like that. Ron Avardi, that kid's a true freshman, real long, really tough on top. Rode the dog out of him, and he had to fight to not get turned or not get pinned in that situation, because certainly they were coming out to look to be able to do that. So I thought Kale fought from start to finish. Downey winning a whole lot of matches. I don't care if freshmen that can continue to win matches like that, and find ways to win when you don't feel great. I think it shows a lot of maturity on his part, and just kind of competitor that he is. 65 Hall, he took it to us a little bit. Got to be able to stay in the match. Got to be able to hold position a little bit more. And even in Simma's match, you got to be able to hold this. You got to be able to hold the center a little bit more. That kid kept him on the edge a lot, and I'll give him some serious credit. We challenged something, even though at the time, the way the rules are now, it was silly to even use a challenge because they get time to play out. Because before you go back to like the situation and be like, well, that wasn't points, and then they would go back to there. Now, if when they stop it, so 15 seconds later, he had had the takedown. It was a clear takedown. That's where they go from. But part of me is like, give him a little mental focus, and he was able to, with some prompting from his coaches and from our trainer. Actually, Frank does an incredible job of when guys are out there and you got blood time or you got something going on. I mean, he does an incredible job of getting these guys focused back and talking to them calm, getting their breathing under control. So when you have an extension of your staff like that, that's critical, because then you have everyone pushing in the same direction. So even our trainer, man, he's pushing in the same direction. But you get an escape and you get a takedown to the last second. I was trying to think the last time we kind of had a last second score like that. I think it's been a while. And he's won a couple matches late, and just confidence. I mean, you see him growing. Parker. You start taking that for granted a little bit. He's going to score bonus points. He's going to, he'll attack this guy. You guys got to understand, and I think you guys are fully aware of what that takes and the type of preparation that takes, and that he's become a pretty damn automatic, and that's a huge thing to have, is for your program, and we don't take that for granted at all. But man, we know a guy's going to go out there and compete like that and go score points, and a little bit of emphasis too. I mean, he's putting guys down hard. He's really making a stamp on, to me, the weight class, but also showing he's one of the best guys in the country. Volker, wins a few scrambles and wins a match, and he's getting better every time out. And Tyrell, hit a beautiful attack to finish that match. Um, he's had some OT matches, some tight ones, and found a way to win those. Yeah, proud of how our guys are competing. Proud of that dude. Um, you guys don't always know the backstory of everything, and you don't need to know the backstories of where guys are at and that stuff. But just know that, he's not 100%. And he's dealing with managing a lot, and man, he's going out there every time and giving this team everything. And man, couldn't be more inspired by it. And I know our team is too. So I think we have some momentum going into. We got Cal Baptist first on Friday, and then we go over to Iowa State to Ames, which we're not going to get ahead of ourselves. But, and I said it before, I know it's Super Bowl Sunday, but dude, we're in the state of Iowa. So wrestling when two in-state schools are going, that's the damn Super Bowl. That was like when I was a kid, when I was growing up. When you get IPTV, that was as big as the Super Bowl when you had the in-state schools wrestling each other. So I know they moved it up an hour. It's in maybe an hour and 20 minutes to get there from here. You'll be back in plenty of time. I can tell you, I'll be able to get back. I'll be able to get a sweat. I'll be able to get a cold tub. I'll be able to drink a couple kickstarts, and I'll still have plenty of time to be there for the start of that game. And so will everyone else. So let's have that place packed. Hell, they have a great team. All you can do is, and you got a top 5 team. They've wrestled really, really well this year. We've gotten consistently better, and every time that we've been meeting, in my time, there's been battles. And obviously on paper, we're gonna have to beat some guys we're not supposed to beat. We're gonna have to upset some guys. But like I talked to the team, like, this is not an upset, man. You plan on doing it. You're preparing to do it. And I know I'm looking forward to that meet, especially when it's the only in-state meet we get to wrestle. So yeah, you don't try to circle the date, but you certainly look forward to certain environments, and that's an environment we look forward to, man. I can just tell you, I'll challenge, and I'm sure wrestlers are going to do the same thing, and challenge to make sure that place is packed, because we got 2 really, really, really good teams that I think are only getting better and better, and there's a lot of young guys, and so you're starting to see some rivalries. I think you start to see some rivalries start to build in some of those weight classes, and so I'm just saying, get over to Ames, man. Be there 1 o'clock, and be, well, if you're a UNI fan, I hope you're really damn loud, and if you're an Iowa State fan, I hope you're really damn quiet. But I guess any questions?
How do you manage the travel this weekend where you're going all the way over to the West Coast and then back to?
It is what it is. Doesn't matter. Like, we've had to. If you look at our season has not at all. This season has not went to plan. If you would have drawn it up, you would have never had it how we started our season. So we manage and deal with those things really well. Ideally we're not having to do that, yeah. But how the schedule worked out and how the date that we got it to work, our guys won't make any excuses. I can tell you that. I looked at some things, and maybe some guys may go out there, some guys may not. I don't know. I know that all of our guys are kind of like, nah, Coach, send my ass out there. I want to go. I get a chance to compete for this team. I want to go compete. And I'm not 100% sure who we're going to all send out there. Working kind of through that right now and kind of figuring where some guys are at. And, you do got to do a little bit of research, because there are some things with RPI, matches, that you need to get to be able to meet certain thresholds to get a spot. I would certainly, if I can go out and wrestle one more match there instead of going to like a last chance qualifier or something like that, we'd certainly rather be able to do that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think past it. I think that you put hard things on guys, and they actually, you'll be surprised how well they handle it, and actually they thrive in it. So. How do I think we'll handle it? I think we'll handle it freaking like pros, like we do everything else.
If I could ask about the last part you said there, you want Iowa State fans to be quiet. Would you prefer that your team makes them quiet, or would you prefer they show up quiet?
I want them to be loud. I want them to be into the meat. Now it's our job to take that away from them, right? So yeah, it's our guys. Our guys make them real quiet. Hell yeah. Yeah.
You talked about, Doug, your team's got so much to be focused on right now. So does, having had a good crowd in here last year and coming up just short against Iowa State, is
that something that doesn't even need to be said, or you make sure to say, like, we owe these guys one?
That doesn't need to be said. I mean, shit, they know. I mean, they were there, they felt it, and they felt it the last few years too. You know, I mean, it's not like they're, you know, we've had a few where they've probably had an upset on their side. You know, so we have to do that back to them. And when it's a rivalry like that, like, you got to sometimes throw some of those things out the window. But I don't need to ever. I don't ever need to bring that up. But you know, I mean, those some things I'll say. You know, some easy money. I just that sticks in my head a little bit. I heard that comment a few times. That you know, you needle guys a little bit that way. You know, like I said, I have a ton of respect for Dresser, his staff. I mean, I coach Metcalf and I coach St. John. You know, I think sometimes we get caught up in this that you almost got to hate these guys and all that stuff. And you know what? I think if we're really being great competitors, man, we can, man. It's when it's time, it's this, and then when we're done, you know what? You can respect one another. But when it's out there, dude, man, we're going out there for blood. We are. But I don't think I ever have to remind them of last year. You know, they're already doing it. But that, you know, that's also what's in our character. What's our best team makeup? You know, is it that, like, you know, we want to kill someone, or is it, man? You kind of see these guys and they're a little bit looser, and they're competing well doing that. So you try not to get too far out of your norm either. You know, because oh my God, it's a build up, it's this and that. Like, that's another match, and we're gonna rise to the occasion. And we know, man, we never take the opportunities for granted. We're grateful for them, and we know that's our time to let our light shine. And our guys know that. So, long-winded answer of, I don't need to remind them of anything when it comes to wrestling Iowa State.
Going back to the duel yesterday, there's been so many duels. You've been right there.
Yeah.
Short end of the stick. Can you really underestimate Jared's last second takedown? Because he gets that takedown, then you roll the rest of the way. How big of a swing, not only in that match was it, or can it potentially be moving forward?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they're ahead in the meet there, you know. And then it's like, well, we're probably not beating Parker, but if we bring a bat out, maybe. Probably not a bat. We better bring some other things. But you know, then hey, we win one of these last two matches, though we can win the meet. You know, so I mean, absolutely. And just so we talk about, okay, you got your baton and you're running your leg of the race, and you got to run it as well and as hard as possible. And when you do that, and I think the guys behind you, I mean, you saw the energy in there, you saw it change, and it zapped them a little bit, but it built so much momentum for the guys behind them. And so yeah, do I think that was a huge shift? Absolutely, it was. And you know, great on Sima that he wrestled till the very last tick, something we talk about doing. But yeah, I didn't underestimate that at all. That was a huge swing in the meet, and just the energy in the whole building, you know. And for them, like, heck, that guy's ranked ahead of him. You know, they're expecting to win that match, and it looked like they're going to win the match. And just you go and snatch that away from them. It takes a lot of life out of them, and that's exactly what we did. So I didn't underestimate that at all. That was a huge turning point in the meet, and for him, it's a huge turning point for him. Just he did it a couple weeks ago against Utah Valley too. You know, one at the end, and just that he's learning that he can wrestle through everything and wrestle a whole 420 seconds. So, yeah.
It's the second time in
Yep.
a row that Jared has kind of done that
Mhm.
in a duel. What is his demeanor going into those matches where they're very pivotal? You guys win, you guys can take the meet, lose, go the other way.
I think, like I said, like when you're thinking about how I have a responsibility to my team and how to compete, and I've prepared to be able to compete that way. Now I'm just going to go out there and wrestle every tick. You know, I don't know if it changes a whole lot, and that's where I don't want it to change a whole lot. You know, like, oh my God, the pressure's on me. I got to show up. Like, fine, I'm prepared for that pressure. I want that pressure. I want to be the guy that if it's rolling south, I'm stopping that and I'm pushing it back in the other direction. So I can't speak for him, but I know that it's the positions that he wants to be in, man. This team can rely on him. If I need someone to step up, I'll step up. I'll be the guy. And like I said, he's done it and kind of swung the momentum in the last couple meets, and then then we've rolled from there. But I think that's on each guy and each individual that they can do that. Each guy has an opportunity to do that, and I think like I said, when we're running that race, I think guys are all running that race pretty damn hard and pretty damn well. Now, does that mean we're going to win every race? No, but it means that we at least made that guy to look over our shoulder a little bit and be like, damn, this guy keeps coming. And then the guy behind him, he's like, damn, we're covering some ground right now. And I think that's just what we're doing as a team. I just think the energy of the team and the cohesiveness of the group and like those young guys just gaining confidence in themselves.
Would you point to gaining confidence in himself as what has allowed Jared to kind of become that guy for this team this year?
I think that's in every guy. You need evidence. And we try to give these guys evidence in the practice room and the things that we're seeing and the feedback that we give them. But when they see it out there in competition, I just think it makes much more believable for them. There's certain things that are out in front of everybody. And we got to do all these things that everyone else doesn't see too, which they're doing. But I think those things make that happen. But I've seen the confidence grow and the trust in himself. And that's what you want to have happen throughout a season. That's why you have a season. That's why you have coaches. That's why, we talk about being coachable. That's, hey, man, I know you're not where you want to be right now, but if you continue to follow this plan, I feel like you're going to be here. And they just got to continue to trust it. And guys are seeing it and feeling it, and the more they trust it, I feel like the better off they're going to be. And, the results will come from that.
Chiefs, Niners?
I hope they both lose. Well, let me think. I mean, Kittle. There's some at least a state of Iowa ties. I know he's not an Iowa guy. There's some much more state of Iowa ties to. There's no UNI guys on either team, correct? There used to be a Kansas City. They had a guy for a while. If there was a UNI guy, maybe, but it wouldn't hurt my feelings if the 49ers won. But I'm more focused on Iowa State meet before that. And hopefully the state of Iowa. That's what they're focused on before that too. So show up, get out to what the hell's the name there? Hilton, yeah. Get out to Hilton, make that place loud, real loud and rowdy. Because you get two really good teams that are going to scrap from whistle to whistle, and I think that's what makes it a whole lot of fun.
And with the real Mountain Dew, not the diet Mountain Dew this year.
If he brings that, I might have to put him down.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, two quick notes before I let you go. Just announced by the MVC, the February 18th men's basketball game against Bradley has been set for a 1 o'clock tip and will be on ESPN2. And we are still working out the details. I know I texted you two about it, but we are planning to hopefully have Coach Farley available sometime this week, potentially Thursday morning, for a winter update regarding the schedule, the signing class, the coaching staff, any other questions you guys might have for him. Keep your eyes peeled to your email for an official confirmation on that, but we are hoping to do that sometime this week. So, thanks everybody. Yes. 12:30 work okay?
Tomorrow?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say if you said no, then I'm going to break down. Okay.
Hopefully it works for Chris. He's
You don't want him to ditch you again?
he's the
Are you going to chew gum during the next